calling this meeting of the Planning Board of the Town of Gray, March 13th, 2025, to order. I am running this meeting, even though Dan Cobb is present, online. First agenda item is roll call. Dan Cobb, are you present?
Present, and thank you for facilitating for me this evening.
Sure. Melinda Sheehy, present.
Zhenya Shevchenko, present.
All right, we are all here. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes that were circulated and included in our packet. I had one tiny typo correction. There was a reference to regrassing of a section of the Hannaford site plan, and it said regressed instead of regrassed. So grassed with an A. I did not have any other corrections. Did any other member have corrections?
Nope, I'm all set with it.
No.
Okay. Would entertain a motion to approve.
Seconded.
Oops, can I make a motion?
I'll
You did it.
move, since you're acting as chair, I'll move to approve the minutes
Okay.
as corrected.
Thank you. All right, and
Yep.
seconded. All right. And all in favor? Say something,
Aye.
Dan, for the record.
Aye.
Okay. All in favor here too. Minutes are approved as corrected. Next item is information exchange.
All right. So the council had approved in second reading the proposed amendments to the zoning ordinance related to adding churches as a conditional use in the commercial and business transitional 1 zoning districts. So that change is going into effect March 20th. Just as a reminder for you folks, it was basically something that needed to be corrected in the ordinance and is going to be official as of March 20. The Hannaford expansion and the McAlpine market plans were before you tonight to sign. Those are completed, and those folks will be moving forward with their plans with pre-construction meetings and working with the code enforcement office to complete their projects. And just as a note, there is a community day scheduled for Sunday, May 18 from 11 to 3. That boards and committees are invited to participate in should they be interested in doing so. So I wanted to put that on your radar as well.
Can you expound on what that is?
Community Day is something that was started off by some of our more active volunteers. I think it's in its third year.
Yes.
Yeah, to get the word out about what's going on in Gray, what you can get involved in, to kind of engage people with getting involved in the community. There's events for kids, there's ice cream, but it's mostly a chance to kind of talk to your neighbors about what's up. I don't know if you have something else to add.
It was a group that had been involved in the Blueberry Festival.
Okay.
That wanted to sort of spin off this other event. And it is on this date this year, but the council approved their recommendation that it be the third Sunday in May.
Okay.
So it'll be easy to plan for it going forward.
Gotcha. Would this be an opportunity to make pitches to the public about the wonders of being on the planning board?
It would be, yes.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to practice my mass hypnosis.
Okay, thank you. All right.
If I could just add something, we are in the beginnings of the budget season. At our last meeting, the council had the town manager's presentation of the budget. And we got through quite a bit of it in that one meeting. Our next workshop will be March 18th, next Tuesday. On that one, we'll hear from James Gailey, the county manager, who will talk about the Cumberland County, which has a large increase coming our way this year. We'll talk about economic development, public safety, public works, solid waste and recycling, facilities and parks, and our capital improvement program, with a goal of voting on the budget at the beginning of April, so that we can get that out in plenty of time. Currently, the municipal side of the budget will increase a small amount. I think it's 1.2 or 4%. But it will actually be a reduction in taxes because of the change in valuation. The school department released their budget last night, actually, as I understand it, and they were looking at a 10% increase, but they don't believe that that's where they're going to end up. So I encourage people to pay attention. We do have some new tools on the website. ClearGov is a software, budgeting software that the council purchased last year to be used this year. It allows citizens to basically see the whole budget. And there's a big graphic component to it. And going forward, I think it'll just be much easier not only to present the budget, but to sort of standardize the language around the budget so that everybody kind of gets familiar with it, and we at least eliminate some of the confusion around how it's put together. So, thank you.
I have a question about the budget, and curious, just given what we're hearing in the news, is there any monies that we typically receive at the municipal or school level that relate to federal dollars? Because I'm imagining we should not be counting on any of that, and in fact, anything we've been promised might be withdrawn.
There is, we're not super exposed, but yes, the money that we get from the federal government comes to us through the state.
Yeah.
And it also comes to us in other ways. It could come to us from the county, or it could come to us from GPCOG, the Greater Portland Council of Governments. GPCOG has been working over the last few years to sort of diversify their finances. They're actually less dependent on the federal government for grants than they used to be. They have had a couple of things canceled, but on the whole, they feel like so far it hasn't been catastrophic change. So
That's good news.
yeah, it is good news,
Yeah.
but it's early days yet, and who knows what will happen as we go forward.
Understood.
We potentially will lose money. Schools will lose
Yeah.
money for the special ed
Yeah, and for food. Yeah.
and for food. So
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, I heard the food bank lost its USDA grant, so.
Yeah.
And we do have 2 grants, just so you're aware as well. To that point, we do have 2 federal grants right now.
Uh-huh.
We have a brownfields grant that's been underway, and we have a more recently awarded CPS grant that was awarded in 2024, congressionally appropriated funds for a sidewalk project.
Oh, gotcha.
So those 2
Right.
are both.
The transportation ones, talking with MDOT about the village plan, that's still going forward. They're in the process of doing the engineering now for that, with a goal of putting Gray into the next round of grants, which won't happen till next year. The general feeling, though, is that infrastructure is probably the safest of all the federal spending, so we'll have to wait and see. But
Good. All right, thank you. Thank you for that update.
Yep.
All right. Next item on the agenda is public hearing. Public hearing. We're going to, I want to know what I'm supposed to read here. We'll hold a public hearing on the proposed amendments to the zoning ordinance to add private solar energy system performance standards 402.6.12 and to amend the commercial solar energy systems overlay district 402.8.10 to allow animal grazing. And so, is it?
Do you want a
time to-
summary or?
Yes, please.
The summary of the changes that are before you that came through the council. The council took the comments at the February 4th meeting, and they did decide to not allow any private solar on any property located wholly or partially within the Wellhead 1 zoning district, and any solar for private use proposed to be located in the Business Transitional 2 or Wellhead 2 zoning districts will be required to provide confirmation from the manufacturer that the panels do not contain PFAS. So we've updated in this most recent edition, updated the use table and the new language.
Okay. All right. Do you have any comments from the board?
from the public.
None from me.
public. In that
Is it the public first?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. First of all, I'm going to open the public hearing.
My name is Zhenya Shevchenko, and I live in the village, Wellhead Protection Zone 1, which solar panels will be not allowed containing any PFAS. I don't know, guys, how much you know about the PFAS in general, but that family is 1,400 substances, okay? Right now, EPA is watching only 5 of them, and DHHS watches 14 of them in the drinking water. So, how about we will be monitoring what's recommended by EPA or DHHS, so we will exclude these substances, named substances, from the list. And we'll leave everything else with wording that, like, if list will be updated, we will update it in the ordinance. That's one thing. And, like, again, PFAS, it's a bioaccumulating substances. So when they're getting into the ground, they're usually staying maximum like at 6 inches, and then grass, when it's growing, and plants is picking them up and carrying it in their bodies. Then animals is eating it, and animals is bioaccumulators too. So that PFAS, which is animals eating, will stay with them. Or it will show up in the milk, for example. So I don't know, it's very controversial, both two things, like, okay, we will forbid PFAS from one perspective, and from another perspective by grazing at the solar fields, like, we will be giving a chance animals to accumulate PFAS, which will be transferred to people after that. That's all I had to say.
Thank you. Is there any other member of the public wishing to speak? Hearing none, I would open it up to the board. Dan, I can see you. Oh, but I can't hear you because you're muted.
Sorry about that. No additional comments from me, thank you.
Okay. No additional comments from me either. And I guess I can close the public hearing? All right. The public hearing is now closed. And then I have one new item, which is new business, election of officers. This is the time which we are to elect officers. Is there a slate? What do we?
Someone would nominate.
So
Okay.
Typically, what you would do is, we need someone, anyone can nominate anyone.
Okay.
And we vote on the nominations.
Okay. I would like to nominate Dan Cobb for chair of the planning board.
I will second it.
All right.
I have no other nomination.
All right. Then all in favor of Dan for chair?
Verbally.
Dan?
That's a yes for
Yes.
me.
Okay. All right. Thank you for serving again. Much appreciated.
Welcome. Yeah.
You do a great job.
Appreciate your confidence in my chairmanship.
Yeah.
I think you do a great job too.
Yes.
I would nominate you, Melinda, if you're willing, as vice chair, which I think we operated without an official vice chair last year after Tamara left.
I am willing.
Second.
All right. Vote all in favor? We are both in
yes.
favor here. Yes. Okay.
It's a yes for me.
Right. We have a chair and a vice chair now. I think that is it. Any other business?
Nope.
No. I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
Second.
So moved.
All right. All right. All in favor? Yes. Say
That's a
something,
yes.
Dan? Okay. Good.
Yes.
The end. These will be nice short minutes. Thank you all. Done.
All right.
Thank you.
You are
Okay.
Thanks again for,